That's a kind of, I'm sorry to jump in. That's a good question because we have that and have had it a lot. There are, and speaking from UNC, I can't speak for any other. When we have those positions, the university's HR department compiles the information, but they don't. I think they used to, but they don't separate anything out. If you applied and you have no experience whatsoever, we still see it. So we see that, and it is flagged. If you check no, there are like 3 or 4, maybe 5 questions where you have to have a yes or no answer. And that sounds a little bit like what you're describing. And then we see the fact that you check no, I don't have the 5 years that's required. But we still have to look at it. So it's a thing. It's kind of the way I've seen it, it's kind of a flag that pops up. It's like, oh, we need to check on this. And so then we do go in, and if you truly don't have it, then that's one of the required ones we can't do. But I've seen people where they do get confused, and we do try to. It's not an automatic disqualification at UNC. We still look at it, and sometimes you check no, and then we look at it, and we're like, well, this person does have the experience, and we don't judge you. I don't judge you on that because it's a confusing question sometimes, and it's not automatically kicked out of the system. At UNC, when hiring for a librarian, I can't speak for the rest of the campus and how they do things, but no, I've seen that a lot, and we try to word the questions the best that we can to make sure it just kind of helps cue things up a little bit different. So I don't know how it works.
Okay. So our campus HR is also kind of urging us to add these questions onto our application process because they think it makes it easier. I am begging them on every search to not do it because I don't think it makes it easier for exactly this reason. So far, we have not had that question on any of our jobs, and if I'm in this position, and probably if Wendy's in this position, it's not going to happen. So that's as much as I can say about that, because it is confusing. And so for things like base years of experience, we do look at when somebody graduated library school, and we calculate that, but that's a calculation that happens so rarely, because we don't really care about your years of experience. We care about what you did. So that's why I would never want to ask that question.
And again, I'm not sure it's a relevant issue for a school library position, but it just seems like something that someone could misinterpret very easily. And so again, it's like, do you try to explain it all in a cover letter? I'm not sure that you want to. So maybe if you really are uncertain about how to respond because of the sort of experience you have, could you call somebody and ask?
That's maybe what I would do. I mean, if you're seeing this a lot on jobs that you're trying to apply for, yeah.
It's, because again, you want to be completely honest when you're filling out that job application. And if they say, if you want to be sure that you're answering accurately. And if you really don't know, I don't think there's a problem if you're respectful and professional in asking that question.
But would you call HR, not the hiring manager?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, HR. Yeah. Do not call.
Yeah.
And if I can add on that, there's 2 things that I want to say to that. One, in public libraries, generally, we're going to look at your overall experience. It's been my background is we're going to look at if you've got paraprofessional and professional, we're going to look at them both as a group. Number 2, going back to what Kelly said, you've got to be extremely honest in what you're putting in there. And honestly, to tell you the truth, we can teach you skills. We are looking for who best fits with the other people we have in that area. We are looking for who is going to cause me the least grief. Just to be honest with you, and that's my personal opinion, not High Point Public Library. But really, that's what it comes down to. You are selling yourself. You are convincing me or whoever goes through those applications, and you are getting me to think, hey, I want to get to know her. I think she's going to fit.
Well, and
that's your job.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
No. And I'm just thinking, there's other ways that you can provide evidence of that. Like you do in this profession, you really do have to be an ongoing learner. Mm-hmm. And so if you can demonstrate, that's another way of showing that even if you don't exactly have those years, if you can show somehow where you're learning or where you're contributing to the profession, that just sort of bolsters anything that you might want to say about your qualifications.